have seen over 5 inches of rain. A flood warning is currently in effect now across southwestern Volusia, Seminole County, northwestern Orange, and also across southeastern portions of Lake County. That is where some areas have, as I mentioned, seen over 5 inches of rain. 6 inches now just north and west of the Sanford area. You see Ascatula currently getting it on the rain. Another wave of heavier rain is on the way. Windermere and Disney World also getting the heavy downpours. Occasionally a lightning strike mixed in. And remember, anytime you hear a lightning strike with a tropical event, you know the rain is going to be heavy as it moves in your direction. Look at our storm volume scan, again, showing very heavy rainfall now just to the east of Zellwood, heading out towards Apopka. Altamont Springs, just west of Winter Springs, and just now has moved out of the Lake Mary area. Hurricane warning does continue from South Florida down in Miami all the way across the entire length of the East Coast. All my years down here in Central Florida, I've never seen that. So here it is, a one-time deal, hopefully. Out across inland portions of Volusia County, also hurricane warnings are expected with hurricane conditions, also through all of Seminole County, all of Orange County, and all of Osceola County, especially, though, from what we've seen, it looks like it's going to be the eastern end of those counties where the strongest hurricane force winds would be found. Right now, Hurricane Matthew officially producing winds of 130 miles per hour, moving northwest currently at 13. Here's a look at the current winds across the state, 18 miles per hour out of the west of Miami, so the wind direction has already switched in Miami, but the winds are still out of the north-northeast, currently up around Melbourne at 28 miles per hour. We have some wind gusts coming in, too. Wind gusts earlier, as I mentioned, were running around 98 miles per hour across the northern Bahamas. Now a wind gust just a little while ago, nearly 40 miles per hour, back over towards our coastline, over along Brevard County. Here's our BAMS model showing the center just offshore, not onshore. That's also the little revision we've noticed in the models for late this evening. One more model, I believe, also is going to show pretty much the same thing, again, showing the strongest winds offshore. What's the probability, though, of tropical storm conditions? Well, highs you're going to get. Basically, 100%, basically, right there along the coastline, anywhere from about 100% to as high as around 70% as you get out over towards Ocala and Yezo. Basically, what this means is that this tropical storm force winds will be across pretty much the entire area, but of course, concentrated right along the coast, and then many areas right at the beach, at least, will at least have those hurricane conditions. There's one more view, Bob and Sunny, again, showing the center moving out of the Bahamas, now pushing northwest, again, trying to get a little better organized before it makes its final approach towards us. As I mentioned earlier, the strongest winds will begin to move in after about 2 o'clock in the morning. Those strong winds will continue up until about noon tomorrow, and after that, things will begin to improve. We'll break down this winds much for you as we go into the next half hour. More of that coming up.
Glenn, thank you. Let us start our tour of how things are looking outside. We're going to start tonight in Brevard County.
Daryl Neal just filed this report.
I'm standing here on the beach in Cape Canaveral, and we are right at the edge of the ocean, and you can start to see it's hard in the dark, but with a little light that we have, we're shining out. We're going towards high tide now, and there's not a lot you can actually see, but you can hear the roar of the ocean. You can certainly see the rain going a little bit horizontal at the moment. Brevard County Emergency Operation is now urging Brevard residents, anywhere that they are, Barrier Island or on the mainland, to stay where they are as the storm approaches, and after it goes by. They want to be able to assess the areas after the storm passes to make sure it's safe for residents to come back to the Barrier Island and return to their homes. They are going to put up roadblocks at the causeways. So if you think that you're going to be coming across, that's not going to happen. Brevard EOC will give an all clear for people to come back here to the Barrier Island once that is assessed by first responders and safety professionals. But again, they ask everybody to lock down until then. We, of course, are sheltering just a few blocks away at a hurricane-hardened facility with first responders. In Cape Canaveral, Daryl Neal, Fox 35 News.
Yeah, thank you very much. In Orange County, there's a curfew underway as we speak.
Yeah, that means officials do not want people on the streets until 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. Orange County Sheriff Jerry Demings talked about this earlier.
As the mayor indicated, at 10 p.m., she signed an executive order now that there's a curfew that is in effect throughout Orange County, and that curfew will remain in place until 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. What that means for us is that we really need your assistance this evening to help get the word out. It's 6:30 or so now, so within the next 3.5 hours, it is our intent that individuals who are traveling on the roadways will no longer be doing that unless there's a specific need that is codified in the executive order. If the emergency service personnel, physicians, etc., who have a reason to be out and about, we certainly are going to facilitate those individuals traveling to and from their places of business. If there are other individuals who find themselves in a situation that was outside of their control, where they were not able to, because they didn't get the notice or what have you, or they got off from work at a time that did not allow them to get home in time to not violate the curfew, we are going to proceed with an abundance of caution to my deputy sheriffs and other law enforcement officers here in Orange County to use some common sense and fairness in dealing with our citizens. It is not our intent to arrest individuals who just happen to be out and about and they have no criminal intent. So we are going to take care of our community during this process. I want you to be reassured of that. But it is a serious order. It is put in place to keep the individuals safe, to keep the other first responders safe, and at the same time prevent individuals who may want to prey upon innocent people who may have evacuated their homes during this process. So we have our patrols in place to make certain that people's homes and businesses aren't burglarized or vandalized by criminals.
And Fox 35 continue our coverage right now in Volusia County.
We're going to go to Matt Trezza. He's there in New Smyrna Beach. Hey, Matt, how you holding up?
Pretty well so far. Right now, there's not another soul here on Flagler Avenue, which is the main strip in New Smyrna Beach, except for the police, who are just making sure that everybody is cleared out of the area and either sheltering in place or continuing to evacuate the area. Volusia County is under a mandatory curfew from midnight tonight until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if it turns out that they find anybody on the streets who they consider to be loitering in the area, then that person is subjected to or possibly subject to a misdemeanor. So if you're going to be evacuating, that's okay. That's a reason to be out on the road. But otherwise, either stay where you are or get where you're going to go, because there is a mandatory curfew in effect in Volusia County from midnight until 7 a.m. Like I said, the only other folks in the last couple of hours that we've seen out on the streets here have been the police, and other than that, all the businesses and all the residences that we've seen here on Flagler Avenue and other places where we've driven between here and Daytona Beach have all been boarded up, shuttered, and closed. They are clearly taking heed from Governor Scott that everyone is supposed to get out of coastal areas and head for shelter inland or anywhere they can to get out of the way of Hurricane Matthew as it continues its way up the Florida coast. For now, live in Volusia County in New Smyrna, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
Matt, very good. Matt's live show will be changing dramatically here in the next couple of hours, for sure. Meantime, Governor Rick Scott updating the state on Hurricane Matthew earlier tonight, right around 7 o'clock.
Right, and here's just a part of that news conference.
We want everybody to survive this horrible storm. It's the most important thing we can do. I just think about my own family. Counties that aren't in the storm's path are staying ready to help those impacted. I've talked to sheriffs, I've told sheriffs, utility companies, and county emergency management officials to call me if they need anything. I've given them my cell phone, so they call me 24 hours a day. The goal is to solve any problem as quickly as we can solve it. We're focused on protecting life. The state stands ready to help any community that needs help.
The governor also said all flights are canceled tonight from Miami International Airport, Fort Lauderdale Airport, and, of course, Orlando International Airport as well. With more on that, here's Tiffany Teasley from OIA. We can see Orlando International Airport is pretty much deserted. That's because all commercial flights were suspended as of 8 o'clock this evening, and now the airport is shut down. You can see they've already covered the kiosks here, and they are in hurricane preparedness mode. You can see all the cancellations here at the Southwest Terminal. These are from earlier in the day. Officials tell me more than 200 flights have been canceled today, 124 arrivals and 73 departures. So again, officials urging people not to come to the airport because there's simply no point. Everything has been shut down.
You're on an iceberg in Antarctica wearing my brand new beanie. It's snowing sideways. It's snowing sideways.
If you are stranded at the airport, they're directing people to Odyssey Middle School on Boynton Stop. Reporting from OIA tonight, Tiffany Teasley, Fox 35 News.
And here's what we know right now about power outages. According to the governor's office, Brevard County currently has 2,200 people without power. In Miami, around 6,800 people are without power. In Broward County, 5,600, and in Palm Beach County, 4,800. Checking back in now in Brevard County.
One of the 2,200 people that is without power is not Valerie Boyd. She has a nice light on her right now, I believe, and we're going to go live to her. Hey, Valerie.
Hey there, Bob. Well, right now I am at the Holiday Inn Express in Palm Bay, and the manager actually locked the door.
You're on an iceberg in Antarctica wearing my brand new beanie. It's snowing sideways. It's snowing sideways.
People trying to come in and get a room, but you know what? They are totally sold out of rooms here. That's because there's lots of evacuees. In fact, some of them are here in the lobby. Earlier today, I met a crew from FP&L from South Carolina, and I also met these ladies. They're from nearby Mobile Home Park, the Holiday Mobile Home Park, which is 2 miles away. Joining me now is Carol, Marianne, and Leanne. And Carol, tell us, what's your concern about your home?
I am scared we're going to lose it in my car. But I'm stressed out about it, but it's in the hands of God, so we just wait and see what happens.
And Marianne, you were talking about your items that you couldn't bring with you.
No, there was a lot of things where I just had to leave at home. There was no way I could bring them, but what can we do? We just have to wait until our home will be okay.
Leanne, what's planned for tomorrow?
Plan for tomorrow. I'm hoping they will let us stay tomorrow. Our reservation was only to tonight, so I'm hoping somewhere. If the winds are still 100 miles an hour, I don't see how we can go anywhere. So we'll camp out down here in the lobby.
Okay, well, stay safe. And again, ladies were saying that they want to stay here tomorrow night. Again, we too want to stay here tomorrow night, but we've been told that the rooms are totally sold out. Our manager says that he's not concerned about flooding, but he's very concerned about wind damage. Live in Palm Bay, Valerie Blythe, Fox 35 News.
Thank you. Those women in the plane cars are all staying on. Up 2 o'clock this afternoon, we checked in those where they were.
The rain bands from Hurricane Matthew battering Central Florida.
Yeah, let's check in with Holly Bristow in Brevard County with more on how conditions are there. Where exactly are you, Holly?
Well, we are in Melbourne, just north of the O'Gadley Causeway, and I'll tell you that Matty Boy is starting to get pretty ugly over here. You can probably see a huge change in weather since the last time you had to be with us. If you take a look back at the water, these look like ocean waves rolling in here, and we are off of the Intercoastal, on the west side of the Intercoastal, and these suckers are just rolling in here, huge white caps. The sea spray is getting worse and worse, and it looks like the tide is starting to get a bit higher. Every now and then we'll just get a big, huge splash in the face. You can also notice a noticeable difference in just how strong the wind is. I will admit I have a very bad habit of not being able to stand still during live shots, and I've really got to stand here with both of my feet solidly on the ground, so anytime I get up on my tippy toes, the wind just kind of starts to push you forward a little bit. It almost feels like you're on a surfboard or something. You start kind of flopping around a little bit, and to think this is really just the beginning of it all is pretty unbelievable, because it's definitely getting pretty nasty out here. Surprisingly, we've actually seen some people coming out here trying to come out here and see what the weather's like. It seems like the hurricane partiers are having a little bit of fun, but I would definitely advise, particularly if you have been drinking, stay inside. This stuff is nothing to mess with. And and it's getting uglier by the minute. Bob, Sunny?
Holly, thank you. It sounds like she's got some revelers that are causing her a little concern. She seems to be watching them closely.
Yeah, we heard them in the background, too. So
We did.
just inside. Continue to track Hurricane Matthew.
Glenn's going to be back in just a short time. He's got another look at the forecast and the forecast is back.
And we'll keep you updated on Matthew as the storm is moving in. But if you're without power or in the car, you can also stay updated. We're simulcasting on the radio on these stations. Real Radio 104.1. 101.1 WJRR, XL 106.7.
102.5 WFLA, 96.9 The Game, and 104.5 The Feed. You can also get updates on our mobile app and through our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter as well. Sunny and I are tweeting throughout the evening, as is basically every anchor and reporter here at Fox 35, Glenn, as well. We'll be back.
For 10 years, Florida had not felt the destructive wrath of a hurricane. That ended.
All right, you guys, we are going to go back to live updates there from our sister station. But right now, we're just giving you a live look. You can almost barely see outside there right now in Florida. Oh, let's see, we're back at our sister station, and we take you there live right now.
Stop will be Central Florida. Much more on the breakdown for wind and rain, county by county. It's next.
Visit LexusOfOrlando.com where you'll find the luxury.
All right, well, that was just a tease coming up. They're going to show us all the weather that's happening right now there in Florida. Again, officials say winds are picking up and thousands are without power now in Florida, and they could lose power for weeks and months. So if people choose not to evacuate and stay in their homes, they're going to be in their homes without power for almost months, they say. The National Hurricane Center says that the eye of Matthew is northwest of Grand Bahama Island, which is about 70 miles east of West Palm Beach, Florida. And there's a wind gust right now of 50 miles per hour, which has been recorded at Palm Beach International Airport. Let's take you right back now to our sister station.
All right, we're following Matthew along that white line right now, working its way from the Bahamas, where it was located earlier today. Supposed to be moving right here. So again, we're waiting to see, again, if it stays along this line as it traveled to the north. Earlier it was to the north, then it was back on the line. Now it's back up to the north again. Some of the models do now take the system just offshore. That's important. Also, the western edge of this hurricane, we've noticed, has got much, much less wind, again, compared to the right side of the system. So that's going to be the big change here as we go through tonight. Will those winds, actually those real strong, powerful 100-plus winds, actually make it to the coastline? Right now, if it stays on this path, we're just off to the right of that path, no. And that would be great news. Here's what we have right now on radar. We continue to have very heavy rain in pockets moving through the area.
What?
To talk more about how much more rain is on the way and much more on that wind breakdown, minute by minute.
Go to bed?
Glenn, thank you much. Checking back in with him shortly. Hurricane Matthew, of course, is all over social media tonight.
Yes, we're going to take a look at some of the big tweets that have been sent out tonight coming up after the break.
And as we go to break, another look at where Hurricane Matthew is and a look at the streets of downtown Orlando. Empty and quiet, which is exactly what they should be tonight. Wherever you are, stay there because we are entering the heart of the storm now. The wind and the rain are picking up shortly. We'll be back.
Right now at Lexus of Orlando, get great savings on luxury, like the 2016 NX200 Turbo, up to $1,500 customer cash, finance rates as low as 0.9%. Visit LexusOfOrlando.com for the right choice.
Cozy up this fall with Dunkin's coffee and espresso flavors. Sip salty and sweet with our new salted caramel macchiato, or drink in the season with the classic taste of pump.
I said flowers, but you probably didn't get the, flowers. A little short this week. So that just made it $5 to eat out Hardee's. Oh my God, my butter, my puppet. My goodness, it's just
Where did you get that?
It's the truck.
No problem. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Practically home operator. I phone bill in my mail by mistake, and I'll just pay it.
Want to put him in the oven? Come on, sir. Just cut his Achilles tendon with this knife.
Mr. Simpson, we are getting out of the mall business right now.
But this is the only life I know.
Sorry, I just can't figure myself seeing you this way.
Can I still husband my hand?
Afraid not.
What about my ears?
No. From now on, my business is cooking.
You did the right thing, Mikey. You want him cut out to be a wise guy. You this.
Hey guys, I'm doing we're going to be watching them off of Facebook now, so hang on a second. Got me on the Facebook. Hey. Alright, so I got a news update. Hurricane Matthew is coming close to Florida. It's getting closer to Florida, I mean. If you know what it's... Yeah, I may even hook it up to my speaker because my computer's not that loud. If nothing else, I can just put y'all. I mean, not put y'all, but I can just pull up this. Comment in the comments if you're still watching. Hey, I'm having some technical difficulties. Computer's been slow now. There we go. Oh wait, no, I can just go on YouTube. I forgot about that. Doy. Never mind, I don't think I can. So I will be right back until I get this thing up, okay, guys? Since my computer wants to be slow on me right now. It is still wanting to be slow. Alright guys, hang on. I'm having some technical difficulties. So in the meantime, hang on. What? This is my dog, guys. They're riding through this hurricane together. Hey, don't eat that. Wherever it went. Alright.
Set up such that so many people are in harm's way. It's amazing how sometimes hurricanes seek out the worst possible paths in many ways and affect so many people, but that's the reality we're faced with. There's no denying it now. This is a serious threat to several states, Florida up through Georgia and South Carolina. The time is now to act. You don't want to just hope the problem away.
Detectives searching for missing British boy Ben Needham on the Greek island of Kos are now examining a new site. A search area is close to the farmhouse where the 21-month-old boy disappeared in 1991. Polish MPs have rejected a proposal to impose a near-total ban on abortion unless the mother's life was at risk. The proposed reforms led to thousands of women to take the streets to protest. Poland already has among the most restrictive abortion laws in Europe. The top stories on Sky World News. The UN's envoy to Syria says the city of Aleppo could be totally destroyed by the end of the year if the bombing by the Assad government and its Russian allies continues. Two families who escaped the Islamic State regime in Raqqa have told Sky News about how they witnessed countless public amputations and offers to buy young girls as brides. US President Barack Obama has declared a state of emergency in Florida as America prepares for the impact of Hurricane Matthew, which has already claimed at least 339 lives in Haiti, according to officials. Now let's cross to Johannesburg and Business Day TV.
Very good morning to you. I'm Simezak in Johannesburg, to African Business.
It will help boost Ethiopia's trade as the landlocked country imports and exports 90% of its goods through its neighbor. The railway is the first step in a vast 5,000-kilometer network of rail Ethiopia hopes to build by 2020, connecting it to Kenya, Sudan, and South Sudan. The $3.4 billion project was 70% financed by China's Exim Bank and built by China Railway Group and China Civil Engineering Construction. Tanzania plans to commission a $30 billion natural gas plant by 2025. Talks between government and investors, including Shell and ExxonMobil, are expected to take up to 5 years before any work starts. The East African country's deep-sea natural gas discovery now stands at more than 57 trillion cubic feet. It's looking to sell about 3.1 trillion of that in regional markets over the next 30 years. The nation is already using about 33 billion cubic feet a year to generate 711 megawatts of electricity for local consumption. Nigeria's Access Bank is finding alternative methods to raise funds in a tough environment. The lender plans to sell a 19% stake in Ghana unit in an initial IPO set to begin before the end of the year. It hopes to raise at least $26 million to boost capital as it struggles in its home turf. The lender, the fourth largest in Nigeria, also tapping the Eurobond market, just concluded an investor roadshow in Europe and the US for a 5-year bond. But it's still not clear just how much it's looking to raise. Banks in Nigeria have been struggling to raise capital as a shrinking economy cuts revenue. Taking a look at your other news in brief, Israel Chemicals Board instructs management to terminate $170 million Ethiopian project due to government's failure to provide regulatory framework. Marriott International plans to spend $218 million on 5 new hotels in South Africa as it looks to tap into Africa's growing middle class. Sun International will launch its multi-currency bond of $84 million on the
Power on. Stricter laws would mean women who suffered miscarriages could fall under criminal suspicion. Parliament rejected the bill by 352 votes to 58. The mostly Catholic country already has one of Europe's most restrictive abortion laws. Poland's Prime Minister Beata Szydło says her government will now begin a campaign to promote the protection of human life. 100 migrants who were walking from Belgrade to the Hungarian border have ended their march and returned to the Serbian capital. The group were protesting against the EU's closed borders and demanding passage. Over 6,000 migrants remain stranded in Serbia after the so-called Balkan route was closed. Hungary has introduced strict limits on asylum seeker numbers and reinforced a razor wire border fence with heavy patrols. International donors have pledged £12 billion in aid for Afghanistan over the next 4 years. The money was raised at a conference in Brussels hosted by the EU and attended by over 70 countries.
I think we have finally realized that either we're strong together or
Alright guys, so right now, a hurricane is a Category 4 still. And the comments are going crazy.
We stream the rallies, we stream the hurricanes, we stream... As we told you earlier, the coordinator for Haiti's Interior Ministry in the area hit hardest by the hurricane says that the confirmed death toll there in the southwestern zone is now 283 people. They expect the toll to rise as authorities reach remote places that were kind of left isolated by the storm, so they don't even believe that they found all the bodies yet. So the overall death toll is really unclear, but the last time they checked, it was about 283 people. And just days after Matthew smashed concrete walls there in Haiti, it also flattened palm trees and tore the roofs off homes. That's what Haiti was looking at just after 2 days of Hurricane Matthew. And what we're seeing right now, I mean, it's getting very dark there right now, but you can see almost that palm tree, how fast the leaves are moving and how these trees could get knocked down at any minute as the storm gets worse.
This is what it looks like right now.
Throughout the night. Again, the winds are at 130 miles per hour. And thousands are without power now in Florida. Again, you're watching this live right now on the Fox News Now stream, but let's go to our sister station where they're giving us live updates. Now Hurricane Matthew just about to get into our space. Ben Richards and Brooks Tom have been following the latest from the National Hurricane.
You're on an iceberg in Antarctica, wearing my brand new beanie. It's no inside.
With the strongest of the winds and the rain expected to come through, as Len's been saying all day, in the early hours tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I very much want to reiterate that